Alleviate, another very old song.
Yeah.
This is another line that I wrote and sort of said to Cherry. I just sort of pushed it to Cherry and said, make it good. Which was the idea of I can't alleviate this feeling, which for me, it came from someone I knew and basically blamed me for everything that went wrong in their life, even though I didn't really know them that well.
Right.
And it's obviously very sad when people are going through hardship, but it kind of made me think about how people approach their lives, and it kind of ties in with what we were saying before in the last two songs. It's like a personal responsibility, and it's a case of not wallowing in kind of hardship or anything like that, and just sort of taking responsibility and trying to see the good in things rather than sort of diving headfirst into the bad.
Yeah.
And trying to sort of immerse yourself in it, because it's a tendency that people have, especially when you're down on your luck a bit and you're having a bit of a rough time. You look for the bad things.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the best album titles I've ever heard was an album by Seether, which is called Finding Beauty in Negative Spaces, which I think is probably the best representation of what I've just been trying to get across.
Yeah.
That was kind of the message that I wanted underneath this song.
Yeah.
And I think, Cherry,
Yeah,
with
I mean,
the
well,
bits you added.
Yeah, like just from what you've just said, because obviously I knew all of this when I went to write it, but it's like coming up again.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, like the first line of the song, "Help me, I'm submerged in the ocean's abyss," that's about like the negativity, getting bogged down in the negative side of things.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I think that's where some of that came from. A lot of this song came from that idea, the idea that you originally had for it.
Yeah.
The only bit that I really added was the mid-8 section, which, I mean, it works so well in the song, and like the song flows well lyrically, but in terms of the meaning behind it is completely different to the rest of the song.
Yeah, I don't really. It's interesting you say that, because I don't really know where the rest of the lyrics came from for this song. But I suppose that's something for future historians.
Yeah, the rest, other than the mid-8, the rest of the lyrics came from your initial idea.
Yeah.
That was my interpretation of them.
Yeah.
But that mid-8 section was about two people who had just been in this like haze of happiness, and that's the whole lost in the stars bit.
Sure.
So they were lost in this like haze of happiness, and because of that they weren't seeing things clearly, and they weren't really in control of the situation.
Yeah.
And that caused them to like revert back into themselves rather than do what was necessary to stay there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And so that's the whole back to the solitary corners of our minds where we used to live.
Yeah.
Like before the situation happened.
I get you. Yeah.
So yeah, that's where that lyric line came from, and it's completely different to the rest of the song.
I actually didn't know that.
But yeah, but I think it works quite well.
I mean, it does. That's the standout section of the song, the middle bit for me, anyway. Again, it's quite an old song that we've reworked and reworked until we got it to a place where we're like, that's it. Yeah. Stop touching the song. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're really happy with it now. It's a really strong one.
It does well live.
Yeah, it does well live. This was actually the first mix we got back as well.
Yes.
And because Jeff had done it, I think it was he'd done it alphabetically rather than the order of the tracks. This song will always be a happy memory for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would say so.